In this video, we are discussing Lucid's fatal mistake. Don't get me wrong, they have made a lot of errors, but one in particular, and that is to overpromise and underdeliver to the pickiest of customers. The one thing Lucid could not afford to screw up, they have. I'm going to be reacting to an ex-Lucid owner who's explaining why he has sold his steaming pile of Lucid. First of all, a trip down memory lane. Shout out to all the DMFs who thought it was a great idea to buy Lucid stock. And I know many of you are watching and have learned a very painful lesson. P.S. Stephen, why are you so mean? Why are you demean people all the time? You're so rude. Why are you so mean to people? The reason is to stop people doing dumb shit. Like, for example, buying Lucid stock around $55 per share. Peak insanity. Since peak insanity, down over 90%. And it's not like I'm just looking back in time after the fact and going, see, if you bought Lucid, then you're a dumbass. Because you see, here's the thing. I've been calling this company out from day one, raising a lot of red flags. Lucid fucks investors hard. Lucid and Nikola are super fucked. Lucid Motors in big trouble. Lucid is a time bomb. Lucid CEO admits Tesla has no competition. Is Lucid a threat to Tesla? Spoiler alert. I'll save you the 18 minutes. No. Is Lucid Motors doomed 2 years ago? By the way, spoiler alert, doomed. And also making misleading statements. I mean, even Elon warns Lucid and Rivian headed for bankruptcy. I also took the time to roast some dumb analysts who were recommending investors buy Lucid stock, not Tesla. Also some world-class trolling. Lucid Motors, the next Tesla. Again, I'll spoil this video and save you 15 minutes. No. Warning, Lucid Motors, big red flags. I mean, I could keep going. Lucid Motors in deep shit, blah, blah, blah. Okay? And I really do mean I could keep going. Lucid lied to you. They screwed investors. You get the point. I want to be clear. I'm not a hater. I want all of these companies to be successful. However, I am an observer who has a brain, who uses his brain, observes, and then comments and shares his observations. And my observations have been quite consistent. From day one, Lucid has been making outrageous comments about future production, plans, price points, and volume that were never going to happen. Again, look at my archive of Lucid videos. Feel free to fact check me. They've been lying to, misleading, and deceiving investors. That's one thing. Separately, you may have heard me describe the fact that they need to climb multiple Mount Everests blindfolded, naked, with no water or food, just to survive. Apparently, production is hard. It now appears that Lucid are failing to even sell a fraction of the vehicles they initially planned to. And this, today's video, the cherry on the top of the turd that is Lucid Motors. It would be wonderful if Lucid survived. But on this channel, hopium and copium are not on the menu. I suspect the likelihood of Lucid going bankrupt is now in excess of 98.69420%. I wish it weren't so, but I'm not here to sugarcoat things. By the way, just a quick heads up to my ex-subscribers and Patreon subscribers, submissions are open now for 2 new exclusive Q&As on both platforms, so now's the time to get your questions in. And if you're not already a member, click the link in the pinned comment to join and submit your questions now. I sold my Lucid Air. Here's why. Hopefully this will be an informative video about how Tesla's competition is coming all over themselves. Not for Tesla. Link in description to the full video. Haven't watched it yet, but I thought we'd run through this together and I'll react to some of the comments, some of the reasons as to why Out of Spec Dave has sold his Lucid Air.
About a month ago, I actually filmed a I wish video. I wish my Lucid did this. I wish my Lucid did that. So what I thought I would do is go back to that little archive and publish all of those I wishes. I've subsequently decided to sell the Lucid. There's lots of little things here and there, but it's a great car. It's just ultimately my decision to sell it really came down to charging infrastructure. A lot of people don't understand that because all they do is they charge their cars at home. But in my case, I really road trip a lot. And I'm just so frustrated with the anxiety that I have. I mean, today I rented a Polestar. Yesterday, we rented a Polestar. I pulled into the Naples EA station, and 2 out of the 4 stations are down. And there's only 4 stations in all of Southwest Florida.
So we've got to talk about this. One, I'm sure most of you guys and girls watching know, if the charging station isn't a Tesla supercharging station, it probably sucks harder than a fucking vacuum, and you'll be lucky to find about half the chargers actually working. No exaggeration. The non-Tesla charging networks globally are absolute horse shit, unreliable, buggy. Plug your vehicle in, it starts charging, 3 seconds later it stops. You've gone, you've got your coffee, you're taking a whiz, etc. You come back, it's like, what the 3%? Huh? What? Can't get your card to work. Can't get the app to work. Connector's broken. Interface is broken. Screen's off. You've got a 404 error or Windows blue screen of death on the fucking charger. Terrible experience. This is one of the obvious reasons why automotive manufacturers with a brain have begun partnering like crazy with Tesla to not only gain access to approximately half their current North American superchargers, and in other parts of the world, even higher numbers, but also to start putting the Tesla North American charging standard on their vehicles either next year or the following year, so that users can pull into a Tesla supercharger and not need an adapter and plug straight in, charge, and get the out of there. Now, before we get any further, Lucid Air. What was the big selling point about Lucid Air? Oh, that's right. Long range. We've just heard from Dave that he is experiencing anxiety taking road trips in an electric vehicle that purports to have the best, longest range of any vehicle on the market. How the f does that work? Answer, because Lucid doesn't have a Tesla supercharging network. This is a big problem. This may be one of the many reasons it appears that Lucid are struggling to sell vehicles they're currently producing. Very bad sign. Now, if Lucid have any sense at all, they'll have watched this video, they'll be taking notes, and they'll be taking action. But I'm not sure Lucid does have any sense. Back to the video.
That are CCS. So I'm just tired of it. I really bought that car to have the ultimate road tripper, and it's got the longest range, it's got the fastest charging, but the infrastructure is terrible. And
there you go, I called it. I mean, it's literally advertised as having the best range, superior charging speed, and so on. This is why he buys it as a road tripper because of the range and the fast charging speed, yet the infrastructure, basically non-existent. Therefore, a terrible experience. Again, it goes to show what a masterstroke it was for Tesla to build out their own charging network. Now everyone's crawling to Tesla except Lucid, funnily enough, to gain access.
And on top of that, there's no strategic direction from Lucid right now as far as what they're doing with respect to NACS and the support for Tesla Supercharger.
Also true, Lucid have not announced a partnership to gain access to Tesla superchargers or to start using the North American charging standard in their future vehicles. I understand why. Lucid have positioned themselves as even better than Tesla. That's their whole market position. Super luxurious. Very high end. You've heard the spiel. Unicorn tears in the wiper fluid. Woolly mammoth pubes in the stitching of the seats. It'll add as many inches as you need, vertically or horizontally. Buy a Lucid. Tell everybody that you're awesome and you can afford an expensive vehicle. So if Lucid were to announce a partnership with Tesla, they'd kind of have some egg on their face, wouldn't they? Because why would Lucid, who are superior to Tesla, that's why you buy a Lucid, be adopting Tesla's inferior charging standard? And why would Lucid drivers be using Tesla's inferior charging network? You folks may recall I had this file sitting on my computer. It's almost as if I've discussed the Lucid versus the Tesla charging infrastructure previously, and for some, how dare, that's so rude. Is that a turd? So this is from an investor presentation to lure in dopey retail investors to buy the next Tesla, which is Lucid, obviously, from 2021. I have an entire page in this presentation. The Tesla Supercharger Network versus Lucid strategy with electrify my asshole. Tesla Supercharger Network. First mover perception of advantage. That's right. Tesla doesn't actually have a first mover advantage, just the perception of an advantage. That's right. They were first. They have the most comprehensive, efficient, effective, and advanced charging network, but that's only a perception of an advantage. Highly capital intensive, true. 400 volt first generation system. Lucid's better, we have the latest system. Maximum 250 kilowatts with latest V3 units. Unique closed source system that ironically now everyone is currently organizing access to. Versus the Lucid Electrify My Arsehole partnership. Second mover advantage, a reality. The f***? Yes. Being second and not having built out your own network, but partnering with a piece of shit that's unreliable and doesn't work, is an advantage, according to Lucid. A CapEx light solution, that is true. 900 volt second generation system, therefore better. Maximum 350 kilowatts, therefore better. Open source CCS combo connector. Ha 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 ha. Modern EVs are migrating to ultra high voltage architectures, e.g. Porsche at 800 volt, Lucid at over 900 volt. Tesla's system and vehicles adopted 400 volt largely as a consequence of earlier technology, therefore Lucid better. So again, this is what Lucid were telling investors back in 2021. And now, Lucid are being met with the cold, harsh reality. By the way, how good is that drawing? Back to the video.
So I threw in the towel in the car. Wireless charging. I mean, I put my phone in there. I got an iPhone 14 Pro Max, whatever. And, you know, you just, it doesn't charge my phone unless it's in a certain exact spot.
Kind of awkward for a super high-end, ultra-premium luxury vehicle. I mean, look, in fairness, there are some situations in life where you really do need to get something and just hit it in the exact right spot to get the desired result. But a wireless phone charger should not be one of those situations.
It's really not well designed. I do have a small case on my phone, clear case. And the other sort of part about this, I wish that the USB-C and the USB-A ports.
I mean, bro, I don't even need to wait. I know exactly what it's going to say. These are very inaccessible. Look, there's an obstruction in the way. I'm sure I could make another reference about trying to slide in and find the exact right spot again, but this is just not user-friendly.
And when you're trying to plug one in, you got to like lean forward, and it's hard to put them in. And there's a couple of scratches there that I think either I or the previous owner made. Maybe it's not so bad, but they're just hard to plug in right there. Once you get them in, it's fine. That may be nitpicky, but this wireless charging in the phone is just not, it doesn't work. And with my case on the phone, I got to jam it in there, and it's hard to reach.
God damn it, dude. I'm really resisting the urge to make highly inappropriate comments. So let's see. Charging sucks. Some very obvious low-hanging fruit for better design. I mean, this is some basic shit right here. I'm sure that Lucid have spent a lot of time engineering other stuff, and I don't want to be too hard on the company, except for the fact that they're charging an absolute ton for these vehicles, and they have positioned themselves as ultra premium. I don't know what the investor presentation had, some dumb bullshit like post luxury wank stain premium. I don't even know, but the whole point, the expectations of a consumer buying a Lucid vehicle are very different to those buying a Tesla vehicle because they're paying about twice as much money. You expect little things like this to be flawless. That's why you're spending the extra money. And of all the things you'd want to work, besides the actual vehicle being a good drive, being safe, etc., I mean, functional wireless charging on your phone, probably right up the top, right? It's 2023 after all.
So I wish they had redesigned this little center console area. All right, here's another I wish Lucid did this.
Is this really the interface? It's fucking 2023, bro. Oh, shit. This thing looks like it's about 8 years old. This shit looks like a default straight out of Android or something. And again, I wouldn't be so hard if this wasn't Lucid, but it's Lucid. They're supposed to be better, sleeker, more luxurious, opulent, everything better. Ay. And again, I wouldn't be such a harsh critic were it not for the price tag and the way that this company has positioned themselves as better than everyone.
So listen, I like CarPlay, and it works well. This is Waze right over here, and it works great, but it doesn't fill up the whole screen. I wish that it would fill up the whole screen.
Okay, so let's be honest here. Let's be very honest here. The design of the Lucid display is pure wankery. It might look cool and slick, but when it comes to actually functioning, not only is this poorly integrated, but it's not going to work. There is a reason that Tesla has opted for a standard screen aspect ratio. It's a rectangle. Now, of course, Lucid could have customized this interface and tweaked things a little bit, but apparently they didn't quite have the budget to do that. This is so awkward and clunky. I mean, again, they're just trying to fit a shape in something that it doesn't belong in. This is really clunky. Not what you would expect in a six-figure plus vehicle in 2023.
But one of the other things that I wish that I could actually show the navigation of the car down here on the lower screen while I keep Waze up here on the upper screen. And the problem is that if I go over to navigation in this car...
Did anyone notice the lag time between pressing the button and actually having a response? That's pretty embarrassing.
I'm just hitting it for the first time this morning. It's coming up. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Come on. All right.
Holy shit, bro.
That should be a little bit snappier, in my opinion. But that isn't even my wish. I mean, if it takes a little bit of time for it to come up, so be it. But now what I have is I have my screen up here from the Lucid navigation system, and I also have it down here, which is nice. I like over here I can use direction up, and over here I can use north up. And this screen is actually very nice down below. But the problem is that if I want to see the Waze screen, then I have to go over to Apple CarPlay, and I get Apple CarPlay here. But guess what? Down there, it goes back to the normal screen where I can see things like, options and air conditioning and all that.
God, dude. Again, I mean, this is some basic stuff that they're just not getting right. If this was an ultra-budget vehicle, it would be forgivable, but it's not. So it's not.
All right, so continuing on the I Wish Lucid Had series, check this out. The car is now in Kyle's name. So what I want to do is I want to move it over to my name so that it has my settings, my seat, everything that's associated with me. Now, watch how long this takes. All right. Hello, David Connor. All right, my seat hasn't moved yet. Nothing has changed. I'm waiting. Okay. Oh, now my seat adjustment is in progress, and my mirror is adjusted.
Holy dude, that is super embarrassing. It's 2023, and this is a six-figure plus vehicle. In a word, embarrassing.
I mean, I don't know why that's not instantaneous. I just don't understand that. That should be a lot faster. When you're listening to, for example, Spotify.
Holy did you guys see how laggy that screen is? We're going to go back a sec. Just look at how the frame rate on these icons swiping across must be like 10 frames a second or something. Let me go back.
I wish Lucid, when you're listening to, for example, Spotify, let's say you're listening to music. If I'm playing a song here and then I go back over to navigation, I can't see what the name of the song is that's playing anywhere.
I mean, what a rookie error. Again, this is just 101. For reference, anyone who owns an iPhone right now, start playing a song, lock your phone, look at what you can see. Exactly. This isn't even reinventing the wheel. Just copy the wheel. Okay, there's lots of great wheels out there now with features that you can just copy, that people expect. The thing about technology, an electric vehicle, a computer on wheels, is the expectations people have. It should function equivalent to a smartphone, latest generation, the same features and functionality.
All right, another I wish Lucid did this or had that. This, you've heard me complain about if you watch my videos. This is just not in a good spot. The glass roof is amazing. You have this strip over here that carries this, got this cool light bar. Now I did modify the car. I put in a dash cam, which I have out of the car right now. But in putting the dash cam wires in, the molding is a little bit, I can't get it to snap back up, but I'm going to have a professional look at that. But I wish that these sun visors, you could put them out of the way. And you really can't. When you try to move them over here, that's fine if the sun is coming from this direction. But if you try to flip it up, it hits my head right here because I'm a tall guy, and I can't leave it there. So one of the other things that I've tried to do is to kind of flip it. I mean, you just really can't do anything with it. And what's a shame about this is that in the Tesla Model X, the way they design the sun visors is they just kind of go away, and they've got a little magnet over there. This, even if you were to put this over here, you still have this nasty like hockey puck thing over here that gets in the way of this beautiful glass. And it's like they went to all this trouble to design this beautiful glass roof, and they kind of ruin it with these sun visors. Now, I don't know, comment below if you think I'm nuts, but they get in my way. And what I tend to do is I tend to put it like that so that when I'm driving down the road, then it's close to my head.
Yeah, okay, I think you guys get the point. He's just referenced the Model X, a much better execution in terms of sun visors. Hey, Lucid, just copy the wheel.
This is a small thing. It doesn't affect the drivability. And I'll just go get some crazy glue, I guess, to put this back down. But I wish I didn't have to do that, right? I mean, it's like, the old one wrong number in a spreadsheet. If they can't get a piece like this correct, what's going on inside the car that maybe you don't realize? That just really, this kind of hurt me. Like, just popping up like that.
Again, forgivable if you're not paying well into the six figures for this vehicle and the company selling it has not positioned it as super high-end, premium, ultra-luxury, post-luxury, whatever the they called it. Now, in their defense, they haven't produced that many vehicles yet, so some of the earlier production vehicles are going to suck shit. But again, if you're charging this kind of money, you really don't want to have these kind of experiences. It's much more forgivable with a budget, low-end vehicle. But how do you think a consumer who pays this amount of money will feel?
All right, so I wish that in stop-and-go traffic like this, I wish the Lucid were a little bit smoother. Now, we're in adaptive cruise right now, and I'm not really doing any highway assist, meaning I'm steering it myself. But what happens is when I come to a stop, the car will come to a stop, boom, and it's not smooth. Then when it starts up, listen to this. It's like click, click, and you have to press through it, and it's a little bit jerky. And I can tell you, even my Model 3 car really went up close next to that Civic because he's over in the right-hand lane. It definitely slowed down, but a little too close for my comfort. I hit the brake there. It's just the refinement of the low speed. I don't know, Kyle, I think, calls it motor cogging. It should be smoother in this car. I mean, I know the engineers have the ability to fine tune this. Anyway, my point is, smooth it out, guys, a little bit over at Lucid, if you can. That'd be nice.
I think that's the theme of this video. Hey, Lucid, XYZ, please do that. That'd be nice. Once again, you've heard the rant, but when you're paying this kind of money for a car and it's positioned itself like this, little things like this seems a bit nitpicky, but bro, you got to get it right. Otherwise, you're going to have customers selling their vehicles and telling their friends, don't buy one. Here's all the reasons I didn't keep mine. P.S. My Model 3 is better, my Model X is better, and so on. You've heard this a couple of times throughout this video, right? Dave has referenced a Model X, better execution. Model 3, smoother. He's comparing this vehicle to vehicles that are significantly cheaper, yet better. Awkward.
So every time I'm on my my cell phone and I'm using the hands-free, so, you know, the actual sound from the car, everyone says, hey, Dave, can you turn up the volume? And it sounds like I'm in some sort of Alaskan pipeline, or people say, Dave, the sound quality just doesn't sound good when you're on the speakerphone.
Okay, I mean, again, this is some pretty basic shit. Being able to make calls and people being able to hear you while you're making the call. This is 101. Obviously, Lucid has some issues either with the microphones and or the software doing the audio processing. The fact that people continuously, regularly are commenting on the fact that they can't really hear him on the call, I mean, this is bad.
So I wish that that Lucid could actually, improve the sound quality for the speakerphone. Now, I'm not really sure where the pickups are for the sound. I can't really see where it is, but I don't know, just make a little software adjustment for that. I think that would be really good. I don't have anyone ever complaining when I'm in my Model 3. Everyone says, you sound like you're on your cell phone, not on.
Yet another comparison to a Tesla vehicle. Model 3, starting price, not even half that of an entry-level Lucid last I checked. It's just embarrassing.
It's a simple thing. Let's get that maybe tuned up a little. All right, here's a bonus I wish. I wish the Lucid had dog mode. It does have the ability to keep the climate on, whether you want to keep it on warm or cool, for up to 45 minutes, which is great. But there's no sign or mention in the car on the screen that your dog is doing okay.
Again, copy the wheel. Someone's already invented the wheel. The wheel works well. Copy it, Lucid. Just copy it.
Just figure it out. You guys are super smart. I wish a lot of things. Some people might think that I am too nitpicky.
Now, look, again, when you're paying this kind of money, you should be nitpicky. But even some of the basics, not being able to hear audio clearly on hands-free on the phone, I mean, this is some rookie shit right there. Super laggy interface. Terrible. Dog shit charging network. Unacceptable. Issues with the wireless phone charging. Some brain-dead placement of some of the ports to plug. I mean, this is some 101 stuff here. All things that can be fixed over time, but bro, it appears at this point that Lucid have massively overpromised and massively under-delivered. I can completely understand why we're seeing a video now. I sold my Lucid Air. Here's why. I am not surprised. No wonder Lucid appears to be struggling to sell vehicles. Just remember, folks, facts don't care about your feelings. There are a lot of people who had a lot of nice feelings about Lucid being the next Tesla. A lot of folks who like the idea of their high-end premium vehicles. The option for the reclining blowjob seats in the back of the car. That's a cool feature. I've never seen that before. The idiotically designed screen. Look, it's got a curve. That's so cool and unique. The outrageous predictions and projections this company made about future volumes, price points, sales, and so on. But unfortunately, in this strange place we call reality, the odds of any EV startup surviving are close to zero. Same for legacy automotive manufacturers. Now, that doesn't mean there won't be a few miraculous exceptions to the rule. But Tesla has done the near impossible and made it look relatively simple. And people underappreciate the excruciating difficulty of what Tesla has done. Now they're on the other side of it, running away with the lead, with volume, extremely profitable, compelling, technologically advanced, ultra-safe vehicles. No one's close and no one's catching up. Everyone else is currently fighting for a distant second place. The scraps And most will go bankrupt before they get there. And Lucid, despite being able to suck from the teat of the Saudi investment fund, may in fact be one of the very first bankruptcies. The latest data seems to suggest they can't sell their vehicles. And this is when they're producing a fraction of the vehicles they originally promised. Who's surprised to see that happen? Not the guy who literally said there's no way that would happen when I saw the numbers they were projecting in the future. Again, go fact check me. And again, I wish them well. And again, I want to emphasize, I think the probability of Lucid going bankrupt now is about 98.69420%. They might survive, but I would absolutely not be betting on it. I think the best case scenario for Lucid, as they approach bankruptcy, they sell some technology and or license some tech to some other companies, massive consolidation, and then eventually maybe, if they don't go bankrupt, they become a producer, maybe of powertrains, or maybe of battery packs, if they're lucky. They are definitely going to need all the luck they can get, and about 42 trillion consecutive miracles. Good luck. Athletic Greens AG1 has given me a massive, meaningful boost in energy, allowing me to do a lot more every day, including using my brain more and using my body more. I highly recommend you guys and girls check it out. Athletic Greens AG1 is an excellent way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's got 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus prebiotics and probiotics and digestive enzymes and adaptogens to help you deal with stress. Plus, if you click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, you can get yourself a 1-year free supply of vitamin D3 and K2. But don't take my word for it. Here's what some of you guys and girls have to say. AG1 has changed my life. I was, as you described, treating myself like a circus, ate like trash, rarely exercised, used alcohol as a stress crutch, cannabis also. AG1 is what gave me the kick in the ass, got me back to the gym, motivated me to do more for myself, family, my business, etc. Keep doing what you do. Now, I know there's some skeptics, the same kind of people who think Elon Musk is a fraud, reading this going, what do you thought? There's no way that's possible, bro. It must be a placebo effect. Believe it or not, this is a recurring theme. If you give your body everything it needs to feel and perform its best, including having a lot more energy, you'll need ways to use that energy. For me personally, that includes more exercise, moving my body more social activity, and more cognitively demanding tasks, including producing a fuck ton of exclusive content over on Twitter and on Patreon, plus my daily YouTube uploads. The proof's in the pudding. On to another testimonial from a viewer of this channel. SMR, you asked me to provide feedback on AG1. Here it is. It has helped with mental acuity, stamina, and intestinal waste management. Can't read between the lines. It certainly helps with regularity and digestion. That's what the digestive enzymes are for. It has also dramatically reduced my cravings for sugar. You guys need to stop eating sugar. It's fucking poison. I'm 50, 5'9", and overweight, aka a fat motherfucker. I think that's a technical term for overweight, isn't it? Is it fat motherfucker or obese? I can't remember. I average 100 hours a week in the West Texas oil fields as a safety supervisor. Jesus Christ, dude. No wonder you're struggling to keep your weight under control. 100 hours a week. Brutal. It has helped me lose weight. It is not an appetite suppressant. It can help fat people suppress cravings, and motivation to be healthier is critical for changing your diet. Love you, brother. Again, this is a great point and something people really don't seem to grasp. If you have more energy, everything becomes easier. It's like turning on easy mode for life. A few years ago, before I was taking AG1, my health was trash. I was struggling to get through the day, had afternoon fatigue. The last thing I wanted to do was either use my brain or move my body. Didn't have the energy. Now, my biggest struggle every day is figuring out ways to use that energy. I'm exercising way more, doing a lot more with my friends and family, and of course, my work output has increased substantially. And you can fact check me. Check out the average length of my videos I was posting to YouTube 3 years ago. Need I say more? And one final testimonial. Love this one. Okay, here's the deal for me with this AG1 shit. I'm 41 years old and not the type to eat, drink, smoke, or sleep healthy, so I was skeptical. That being said, here's what I experienced. Day 1, meh. Day 2, afternoon fatigue was about 45 minutes late. Day 3, 0 afternoon fatigue. Day 4, 0 afternoon fatigue plus extra energy. Day 5, again, 0 afternoon fatigue plus energy. Wondering, what the fuck, really? See, this is the thing, right? The results for many people are just almost too good to be true. This is the same experience I had. My afternoon fatigue just vanished out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why am I not tired in the afternoons anymore? Surely, it's not that AG1, is it? Turns out it was. Day 6 and 7, same thing. Day 8, same thing. Plus, I had the want to get things done around the house that I normally would slack off and not get done. Again, the point, extra energy, you'll need to use it. You'll find ways to use it. Day 9, 10, and 11, and today is day 12. I fucking love it. So however you managed to get me to buy it, I'm so glad you did. Thank you so much, SMR. It really changed me so far. Guys, this shit really works. Just try it. By the way, this is the reason I continue to relentlessly promote AG1. A lot of people get real fucking mad in the comments. Oh my God, Snake Oil Salmon's sold out. Oh my God, he's a scammer. This is fraud. But constantly, I'm pretty sure everyone making these comments is also currently short Tesla stock. I'm not particularly concerned about people having a negative perception, those folks suffering from small brain syndrome, still living in my bum's basement syndrome, etc., writing mean comments, claiming AG1's a scam or it doesn't work. I mean, bro, when I get feedback like this is what keeps me going. And remember, there is a 90-day money-back guarantee. There's nothing to lose here. Just try this stuff for a month, and if you don't get these results, get your money back. See, it's a literal no-brainer. It's an IQ test at this point in time. Testimonial after testimonial after testimonial like this. Get your money back if it doesn't work. Just try it for a month, and if it doesn't work, get your money back. Today's the day. It's finally time. Be like this guy who was a massive skeptic, but finally, after 1,000 promotions in a row, caved in, tried AG1, and has results like this. Head to drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link at the pinned comment, and please, let me know how you're feeling in a few weeks' time. Now, if you'll excuse me, time to put my extra energy to good use. I'll be recording some more exclusive content for Patreon and my Twitter subscribers. So click the links in the pinned comment. See you over on Twitter and or Patreon. And don't forget to grab your AG1. Love ya.